Hi VC, hi YouTube, it's Rob here with another video, and this video is my entry into another tag. So it's the non-vinyl tag, which has been set up by Alan, Static Traveller. I've seen a couple of people jump in on it. So it's showing CDs, books, magazines, etc. And yeah, it's a bit of a change from vinyl. So 10 questions, and let's get cracking with the questions. So the first question is, show a mini album or a CD with unusual packaging. I struggle a little bit with this one, but this is kind of a bit of a mini album. The best of 2019. So these are produced by Piccadilly Records in Manchester. At the end of every year, they produce a vinyl album, and they also, with it is a CD. And it's just some of the best albums from 2019, whatever year. And it's a really good sort of promotion for the store. So yeah. And also, I just wanted to add something a little bit different to the tag. So I used to like CDs that used to have sort of imagery on the CD. I'm sure everyone here's got CDs that are like this. So on this De La Soul CD, I used to like that kind of thing. The image of the album on the CD itself. And also on this Arctic Monkeys debut album, there's a very fetching collection of cigarette butts, which has always kind of amused me. So that's the first question. The second question is to show a music related book that you always return to. So at Christmas, my kids tend to buy me, they sort of ask me what record I want, and then I leave it to their imagination, and they always kind of buy me books like this. So 1001 Songs to Hear Before You Die. Like a lot of people who are into music, tend to be a bit obsessed with lists and charts, and I'm no different. So let's just open these pages randomly and see what we think of the choices of the editor. So I don't know what we've got there, but let's have a look. So I quite agree with those choices. So maybe not so much Let's Dance by David Bowie. I can think of probably 10 songs by David Bowie that I'd rather hear than that. But certainly This Charming Man by the Smiths, I think that could quite easily be included in 1001 Songs to Hear Before You Die. This is the kind of book that lives next to the toilet. So yeah, 1001 Songs to Hear Before You Die. Third question, 3 CDs by the same artist in different decades. So I've gone predictably for Paul Weller. So I think this is from 1990 or 91, Paul Weller's debut solo album. This has got quite a nice image of Paul, and it's one of my favourite Paul Weller albums. And then going into the 2000s, I can't quite remember, it might have been about 2008, 22 Dreams, which is probably Paul Weller's last great album. And then in 2012, I do think Paul Weller's last 10 years, I've not been overly impressed. I would like this on vinyl though, Sonic Kicks. I think it's a pretty strong album. A couple of weak tracks, but Be Happy Children and the opening track Green, The Attic, there's plenty of good tracks on this album. So not sure, I can't quite remember what the disc's like, but it's quite electronic. Number 4, show the box set that you've got with the most CDs in it. I've got a couple. I haven't got a huge amount of box sets. I've got this Madness box set, which has got 6 CDs with it, and they come in these. So the first 2 albums by Madness, One Step Beyond and Absolutely. Then we've got 7 and The Rise and Fall. But they don't have the packaging from the original albums, which I don't mind. And the CDs come in little cases like that. And then the last one is Keep Moving and Mad Not Mad. I've also got a Simon and Garfunkel box set. So I'm yet to figure out Simon and Garfunkel. I know a lot of people love Simon and Garfunkel. I picked this up for a couple of pounds. I could do with really putting this in the car and hoping I don't crash it, but this has got all the Simon and Garfunkel albums in here, and it's a nice set. And what's nice about this also is you open the slipcase and they're actually in individual cases as well, so it's a really nice set, and I might put that in the car and see how I go with it. Who knows, I might even turn into a Simon and Garfunkel fan. And lastly, I want to show you this because it's quite funny really. So I was at a car boot sale last year, and there was a guy with a load of CDs on the floor that were all 10 pence. They were either 10 pence or 20 pence, I can't remember. And I saw this, and he wanted 10 or 20 pence for it. And it's 5 Randy Newman CDs. One's fallen on the floor there, but they're very durable. So yeah, 5 Randy Newman CDs for 20 pence. So that's a good thing about car boot sales, you know, particularly CDs. People are practically giving them away. Magazines, show some music related magazines. So got a few here. If you're from the UK and you're a similar age to me, so in your 50s, you'll remember this magazine, Smash Hits. So this came out in about 78, and this copy's from 1980, and it cost 30 pence, and it's got Terry Hall on the front. And this used to have the lyrics of songs in it, so you could sort of learn the lyrics. There's some nice sort of advertisements in it. Remember the chords. On the back we've got a nice image of the Human League. I'm not sure who's in the middle of this, but I always like these sort of advertisements. So before the internet, you'd get your t-shirts and your punk gear from shops and send a postal order or a check, and it's got squeeze in here, pulling muscles from the shell. So I used to love Smash Hits. I used to get it every week, but I picked these up from car boot sales for, you know, next to nothing. Here's one from 1983 with orchestral manoeuvres in the dark on the front, and you got a free badge with this one. Smash Hits stopped publishing in the 90s. Spandau Ballet there. So yeah, big lover of Smash Hits when I was growing up. And also at car boot sales, magazines like this are quite expensive. They're, you know, £4 or £5. But at boot sales, people will sell them you for 20 pence. And you know, I don't mind if they're a little bit out of date. You know, the reviews on music, etc. Uncut magazine, Johnny Marr on the front there. And at Christmas I do tend to buy a magazine just to look at the end of year lists, and this year was no exception. I bought the Mojo magazine with the white stripes on the front, and it gave sort of reviews on the best albums of the year. So yeah, I'm a big lover of music magazines, but you know, the price of them, sometimes I'd rather buy an album. And like I say, car boot sales are a great place to pick up magazines. A non-music related CD, that's number 6. So I'm going to show Tony Hancock. So my parents had this on vinyl, and if you know Tony Hancock, you'll know The Blood Donor and the Radio Ham. The Blood Donor is an absolute classic, but the Radio Ham's great as well. So I'm a big lover of Tony Hancock. Number 7, an album that you've not played on CD for 2 years. I've got a lot of them, but I picked this one out. R.E.M. Reveal. I think I've got most of REM's CDs, but I've got that many CDs, a lot of them are sort of stored away. And when I do listen to music at home, it's generally vinyl. When I listen to CDs, it's always in the car, but I might put this in the car and give it a spin. So yeah, REM and Reveal. Music related DVDs, number 8. So I've got 3 here. So the Inspiral Carpets, live in Brixton, at the Brixton Academy. This is always great to watch because I'm just such a big fan of the Inspirals, and to see Graham and Clint and the boys, Tom, performing, it's just a great show, and I put it on very regularly, this one. So yeah, the Inspiral Carpets, and also this Super Furry Animals compilation is always a good watch, and also Supersonic by Oasis, another good DVD. An album that disappointed you. So here's a group that always tend to disappoint me. It's Muse. So and this album's called Black Holes and Revelations, and when I do go to sort of charity shops or car boot sales, and CDs are so cheap, I do pick up albums by bands like Muse and play them and just see if, you know, I connect with them. And I've never really connected with Muse, just something about them. And I can remember playing this and being pretty underwhelmed. So yeah, Muse. And the final question is, show an album that you wouldn't play to your children. So I'm going to show Miles Davis. But any Miles Davis or any jazz really. I think when you're on the VC, you get kind of sucked into this world where if you don't like jazz, there's something wrong with you. But, you know, 99.9% of people do not like jazz. It's not popular amongst the general public. And on the VC, it seems to be the opposite sometimes. Especially sort of last year with the Blue Note series that's going on the VC. And my kids, if I put jazz on, you know, they'd be heading for the door. So maybe I should play it a little bit more. We've got a little bit of a funny tale here. I was in work on Friday and I really fancied listening to Miles Davis. So I'm a test engineer and I was doing some testing in sort of my own department. And the cleaner came in, Julie. And she always comes in and does a bit of flirting. And I had jazz on, Miles Davis, and the face that she pulled, you know, she was saying, you know, I'm going to get depressed if you keep this on. And that's a general reaction by a lot of people about jazz. Personally, I've liked jazz for about 30 years, but being on the VC has sort of just opened my eyes even more to jazz, and particularly jazz fusion. So yeah, any Miles Davis, keep the kids away. So those are my answers to Alan's 10 questions. It's been a bit of fun, a bit something different. I know the vinyl tag videos are relentless at this time of year, and it was nice to show some CDs and show some magazines, etc. So thanks for watching my video. If you're a new subscriber, I generally show vinyl. I think that's the most CDs I've ever shown on a video. If you're an old subscriber, thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for watching my video, and if you've got any comments about what I've shown, I'll always get back to you. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, I'll always get back to you. Okay, bye for now.